Joining us now, Senate Majority Whip Dick Durbin of Illinois. He's chairman of the Judiciary Committee and delivered the opening statement at yesterday's hearing. Senator, good to have you with us. You did point out the level of interest in the room yesterday, said it was the biggest crowd you'd ever seen in a hearing like that. Can you speak a little bit before we get into the substance of what you hope will change because of it, of what it was like in there, especially that moment when Mark Zuckerberg stood and offered an apology to some of the families in the room?
I hope you can imagine the emotion of the moment as we were sitting at the head part of the committee room and looked out at a sea of people, many of them holding signs for their deceased child or injured child, begging us to do the right thing and to hold these big tech CEOs accountable. I've been through a lot of hearings, but not one that really touched me as this did. The good news is that 1 year ago, we passed 5 bills unanimously in that committee. Take a look at the senators sitting in that committee and imagine anything would unite them. But they were unanimous in belief that this industry has to be held accountable.
Senator, it was definitely a very emotional and dramatic hearing. I think we all were touched by it. And not to undermine or underplay the value of bipartisan action on anything, especially the will yesterday in the room. It seemed like both Democrats and Republicans agreed completely how dangerous social media is for young people. But what is this actually going to add up to? I mean, it seems that everybody agrees, if you talk about it, that these companies should be able to face lawsuits and face consequences just like any other company in America. But yet, where's the will to do that?
Well, I can tell you, you know as well as I do, that the Senate is a place designed to see great ideas come and languish and often die. The question is, will this be different? I think it could be, because we are dealing with a fundamental decision as to whether an industry which for decades now has escaped liability for any wrongdoing is finally going to be held accountable. I do believe that the one single thing we can do, which will change things almost overnight, is to say that they can be held responsible in court for their wrongdoing like every other company in America.
Senator Durbin, Elise Jordan here. There's really been a strong lobbying effort from the industry and from privacy advocates against these kind of bills. Does this bill have the support, or any of your bills, of Senator Chuck Schumer? Is he behind this?
I don't want to speak for Chuck. He can speak for himself on the issue, but he has been open and forthcoming in terms of this idea moving forward. What we have to do is to give evidence to Chuck as the leader in the Senate that this is a bipartisan measure, and it is. And secondly, we can devise a procedure, a reasonable procedure for amendment to bring this matter to the floor. I can't speak for the House or what they may do, but I think those are the keys, elements that we need to convince Schumer that we have in place.
Senator, there's a sort of medieval stocks quality to what happened yesterday with these CEOs standing up and the kind of gallery element of this. But what is it that is holding up the legislation? The CEOs seem to be arguing that this was up to parents and that parents should and could monitor what their children are having access to online. That didn't seem to satisfy you or any of the other senators in the committee. So what is it? What's the holdup? Why hasn't this been done before?
Well, it's a holdup because big tech's making a fortune under the current system, and they don't want to change the rules of the game. That's the bottom line. They're making too much money, and the expense of really policing their ranks and making a safe product is too much for them. So they quietly, with stealth, try to undermine every activity that leads to regulation or accountability. That yesterday, I think, blew up in their faces.
Senator Al Sharpton, as you know, a disproportionate amount of people impacted by this are young kids of color, and you've fought on these issues for a while. Do you get a sense of urgency from fellow Republican senators, some of whom made dramatic speeches yesterday, but will they really have a sense of urgency in terms of pushing this legislation, or will they just say, as I said earlier, there's blood on your hands, wash your hands and go back to work?
Al, I think they're going to stick to their original votes, the unanimous vote in the committee for these measures. That's, I think, the amazing thing about this political undertaking. You know, and I know how rare it is to have everybody cheering on the same side. we did yesterday. And I think a lot of the people in the audience, my wife included, who told me on the phone this morning, I can't remember a hearing like this when everybody was in agreement. I think we've got a chance to do it.
Senator, you used the phrase earlier this morning that you hope this legislation holds these companies accountable. So my question to you is, how do we find out if they're accountable? TikTok, Meta, X, they fool around with algorithms. What's the proof that they're accountable? Fewer suicides? Fewer damaged children? How will we know that they've been held accountable?
Imagine a child that you love, one of your own children or grandchildren, who is being harassed, bullied, and even threatened by activities on the internet. They find the source of it and notify the platform. What happens next? Today, little or nothing happens. If we do our job and do it right, there'll be an immediate response that brings down this offensive material and other measures that protect these kids. The proof is going to be in the outcome that ultimately occurs.
Senator, what's going to happen on the border security bill and Ukraine funding and funding for Israel? It looks like the White House has is striking a deal with Republican senators, Democratic senators, but Donald Trump's getting in the way. How does that end?
Well, you just put your finger on it, Joe. I mean, we were moving forward with a bipartisan approach to the border, long overdue. The president was supportive of it. We were literally hours or days away from its passage. And Donald Trump decided that he was going to torpedo it because he thinks it's a good political issue for the campaign. I hope there are enough stalwart Republicans who will step up and defy his efforts to stop this advance on our border policy. It remains to be seen whether that'll happen, but we ought to move on it quickly. Ukraine needs our help and needs it quickly.
All right, Democratic Senator Dick Durbin of Illinois, thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it.